Welcome to the news from Below's weekly autopsy. I'm your host, a serious journalist who has spent the last 20 minutes trying to decide if the world is actually ending, or if we've just entered the pre-roll phase of a very expensive, very poorly written disaster movie. Today is April 17th, 2026, and we begin with the latest on Operation Epic Fury, a name that sounds like it was generated by a 14-year-old boy who just discovered monster energy drinks and military surplus stores. The US and Iran have entered a 2-week ceasefire, which is basically the equivalent of sending your kids to have a piped doggy's cooling-off period after they've already burned down the neighbor's garage. US Secretary of War and Alcoholism Pete Hegseth is urging the new Iranian regime to choose wisely, while the US maintains a naval blockade. He noted that Iran has no ability to replenish its defenses because the US destroyed its industrial base. It's the kind of good faith negotiation usually found in a hostage situation where the kidnapper is also the one lecturing you on the importance of a balanced diet. And here is the thing. President Trump says this could usher in a golden age for the Middle East, because nothing screams golden age like a naval blockade and the complete destruction of a nation's ability to build things. We call what we have at the moment a brief peace. But it feels a lot more like a machine grinding the bones of the old world to make gravel for the new one. But it gets worse. At the IMF and World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C., we have reached a level of administrative surrealism that would make Kafka weep. Developing countries desperate for cash to survive the climate crisis are being told, with a straight face, not to mention the climate. It is beyond absurd. It's like going to a doctor with a knife sticking out of your chest and being told that sharp objects are a banned topic of conversation because the hospital's largest donor happens to be a knife manufacturer. But ignoring the climate during a global finance talk is like ignoring Israel while discussing impediments to world peace. I'm allowed to say that, right? Okay, this is not a policy, it is a collective hallucination. A kakistocracy in action where the gears are visible, and they are currently crushing the very people they claim to be funding. While we're pretending the atmosphere isn't on fire, scientists have discovered that fool's gold, pyrite, is actually hiding lithium. Yes, the mineral historically used to mock the greedy is now the critical component for the batteries we need to save us from the oil crisis we're not allowed to talk about. It turns out fool's gold isn't so foolish, which is a great headline, until you realize we're pinning our hopes for a green revolution on a mineral found in industrial waste. It's an ignorant hope, a desperate grab for a magic bullet in a world where the bullets are usually aimed at our own feet. And then, because of course, this happened. Trump-linked cryptocurrency project Harbin's World Liberty Financial is facing a revolt. A new proposal wants to lock up investor tokens for 4 years. Tron founder Justin Sun is calling it one of the most absurd governance scams he's ever seen. It's been described as a logical trap, where if you vote against the proposal, you get punished. This isn't governance. It's a digital fever dream where the clown is also the banker, and the vault is made of smoke. I've sat in rooms and heard this argument wearing different clothes for years. It's the same beast, just with a better marketing team and a multi-sig that can override your existence. Finally, in a week of global instability and climate denial, the US Supreme Court is focused on an apology. Sonia Sotomayor apologized to Brett Kavanaugh after a spat. The highest legal authority in the land is currently operating like a faculty lounge in a prep school where the teachers have forgotten they are supposed to be running the country. While the world burns and the blockades tighten, the adults in the room are busy making sure their feelings aren't hurt during the lunch rush. Here's why that matters. Real people, people in the Northern Marianas without power after a super typhoon, don't have the luxury of not mentioning the climate or waiting for a golden age. They just have the dark. This has been the weekly autopsy, and I'm still a serious journalist.